Hey, welcome back in. Dealing with the school blues. Woo. Do you get glowing reports from your kiddos, from the school about your kiddos, but then when they get home, does your child start to fall apart? Does this sound familiar to you?
Oh, it sounds very familiar. Well, Dr. David Weisenhorn joins us now from our friends at the UK Extension Office, and he's a senior parenting and child development specialist, and he's here to help us understand all of this. Thank you so much for coming in today, Dr.
You're
David.
very welcome. I'm so glad to be here.
Appreciate it. Now, how common is that type of behavior? The kids coming home, falling
phenomenon,
apart,
yeah.
you know,
they're
or just
angels
emotional.
at school, but we're not seeing that at home.
Yeah.
I think you could probably already guess my answer. It's extremely common.
Okay, good.
And I just remember the first parent-teacher conference I ever went to, and I heard this teacher reporting on my son, and I wished deeply that that was the child that lived in my house. It didn't even sound familiar. And the reality is, experts call this the after-school restraint collapse, and that is this idea that children are so put together, emotionally restrained, physically restrained, verbally restrained throughout the day, that when they get home, they fall apart. Layman's terms would call it exhaustion.
It makes sense,
yeah,
right?
it does.
And,
Sure.
and the
Totally
stress
does.
level, especially at the start of the school year, especially if you're maybe a freshman in high school or going into junior high, you know, and you're in a brand new environment. The stress is off the scale for these young people. What can we do as parents to help ease those school blues?
One of the easiest things we can do is when they first get home, we give them that hour. We hold that, how was your day? Honey, what'd you do today? How did it go? How was practice? We pause on that.
I fail right there because that's the first thing I do.
As soon as they're in the door,
Yeah.
how was
They're
practice?
right?
How was school?
It's time for them to kind of let their hair down. Let some of that restraint that they've been working on, all that self-control all day, go ahead and give them a little space. Give them an hour, give them an opportunity, grab something to eat, healthy snack, maybe rest, go to their room, unwind.
Dare we say play a video game?
Well, I know. I would prefer a little physical activity because
Yeah.
they've been doing a lot of that in front of the screen. So getting them outside, getting some fresh air, but giving that break for an hour a lot of times can ease a lot of that.
Oh,
That's a great
yeah, that
piece
really
of
is.
advice right
Yeah,
there.
I know. And anything else as far as what parents can do for the kiddos at this point? I mean, so yes, they finally unwind. They kind of, when do we tiptoe back in and say, hey,
We
how'd
need to
your day
know.
go?
We need to know where to be for practice. We need to
That's
know.
right.
Yeah.
Because there's information that we
It's
need.
right. We got to know these things, and we want that homework done. And so
Yeah.
the second step is just to try and ease that back in. Find a time when that might be better. Maybe that's better after dinner.
Yeah.
You know, my instinct is to try and get them as soon as they come in the door. Let's get all the things done,
Yes.
and then give you your free time.
Yes, that's mine
I
too.
think what the experts show is that really it's better. The work output is even better if we give them that time to break. So at least an hour, and then determine what's best. We're finding out routines, new routines. So is it better to do this work after dinner?
Yeah.
Maybe, because middle school is starting so late, maybe an early fresh start in the morning and giving a little hour time to do some of that work in the morning might be appropriate as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, where can folks reach you if they ever have any questions or need help
Or
in
on
this
this
arena?
topic,
Yeah.
is there a place, a
Yeah,
resource
sure.
that can be?
Extension.ca.uk.edy.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
At UK Extension, we have all the information for you and be happy to share it with you.
Wonderful. Dr.
What a
David, thanks so
resource.
much for coming in today. We
Great
appreciate
advice.
it. We needed this help,
Very
actually, right now.
timely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We might need to have you back. We're on speed
Love
dial.
Soon.
to. Love
soon.
to.
Stay with us, guys. Back in a minute.